Hello. All right, this is an email from somebody. Maybe we'll get there when we scroll down the page a bit. Dave's here. All right, Dave? Yeah, she is. Okay. So this person writes, my eating disorder started in year 11 when I was 15. I tried to be more healthy in the new year, and this quickly escalated, and by May I was receiving treatment from CAMS. If you're not in the UK, then CAMS is like the adolescent and children mental health something. Actually, that might be what CAMS stand for, Children and Adolescent Mental Health Service. I'm smart, aren't I? All right, I'm not weight restored yet, age 17, but very close. According to whom? I'm starting to get the old me back in many ways, but as I developed my eating disorder a few months after I'd started going to parties and drinking alcohol, I don't know what my normal relationship with alcohol looks like. I was 15 then, so I only drank what my parents gave me or I snuck out of their cupboard. I never used to drink that much because I had very low tolerance. While my eating disorder was stronger, I didn't drink alcohol at all. Now a large part of socialising with my friends is going out to pubs, bars and restaurants. I will happily go out for food, but I struggle more around alcohol, partly because I understand that I should eat when I'm hungry and also need to weight restore, whereas alcohol has no nutritional benefit and is expensive. Most of the time I don't restrict before I go out, but I always struggle with thoughts the day after. Often when I come in after a night out, I eat loads, which makes it harder for me mentally because I'm way over the meal plan. I still don't drink when I go out, or when I do, it's never as much as my friends. Last night I had 2 glasses of Prosecco and a mojito at my friend's mum's 40th, or my friends had at least 2 drinks more. I feel like drinking a lot is so normal at my age, especially at uni, which scares me. My mum doesn't drink and is also lightweight. I think she means lightweight as in can't drink very much, not lightweight as in necessarily underweight. I struggle to know what to do. Should I drink as much as my friends? Is not drinking as much motivated by my eating disorder? Is it motivated by not wanting to damage how productive I will be the next day? I get lots of college work. I've tried discussing with this with the lady that I see at the hospital, and she said she has to say that I can't eat alcohol because I'm under 18. There is so much in the news about how alcohol is bad for you and full of sugar, and that drinking less is the better option. I wonder if you share your thoughts on this. Well, so I had similar stuff around alcohol, and I think that for many of us with restrictive eating disorders, drinks with calories in are like one of the hardest things. That's kind of like many of us can, when we go into recovery, start to tackle the food, but like drinks with calories in just feels so wrong. And so alcohol came into that category for me. Now before, because I was later onset than you, I had started my eating disorder when I was around 17. So because we start drinking quite young in the UK, I'd already been drinking and going out drinking pubs and things like that for quite a while. And like before, and I was like late 17 when I started. I was almost 18 when my eating disorder onset. And so like I would go out and I would drink pints before I had my eating disorder and not even give it a thought. Like I was that kind of, we're just having fun, and really more drinking means more fun, and so I'm going to drink as much as I can. Not that I recommend that to anybody listening, but I'm just telling you the truth. And so then I got my eating disorder and suddenly started to get all health conscious, and it was more about the calories for me, though. I couldn't even fathom drinking a beer. Like the amount of calories that was in that just blew my head off. And so it really wasn't for me about, I'm trying to be healthy and like drink like less alcohol for my body. And it was totally about the calories that were in the alcohol. That was true for me. I'm not necessarily saying that has to be true for everybody, but I have noticed that people with restrictive eating disorders, like the calories and the alcohol does come into it. Now, actually, alcoholism and restrictive eating disorders are quite commonly linked. I think that's a genetic thing. It just seems to be the prevalence of people abusing alcohol and also having an eating disorder higher. Now, for some of us with eating disorders, that's like, what? No way, I'd never drink alcohol, it's got calories in it. But the problem is that when people abuse alcohol and they have an eating disorder, they're drinking alcohol, but they're not eating, to make up for the calories. Anyway, so I don't want to necessarily go into what is labeled drunkorexia. We're not talking about that here. But what we are talking about is is this tendency to sort of be like, I don't drink as much as my friends and I'm just having a little bit less than everybody else. Is that actually what you're asking? Is that influenced by your eating disorder? Well, I'd say the same thing that I'd say to anything when someone emails me and says, is this tendency to want to be healthy influenced by my eating disorder? I'm usually going to say, yes, it probably is. If you're suspicious that something's influenced by your eating disorder, then there's probably something in that, and that's what you need to explore. Am I saying that you should go out and get absolutely bladdered every night as part of your recovery? Probably not. That might not be responsible information or something for me to say responsibly. But what we want to get to, the point that we want to get to, is that you're just going out and you're just drinking as much as you want to without kind of having these thoughts of, I can't have another one because of, you know, like, what will I, you know, these thoughts of I can't have another drink because if I have another drink, am I going to be able to eat when I come back in? Or, you know, those kind of like trade-off thoughts that feels like you're having. You mentioned that you go out, you want to eat when you come back in. That's totally normal. And most people go out on the lash and then get like some kind of like greasy chippy on the way home, or a pizza in England anyway. So, and that's actually something that I would totally do before I have my eating disorder. We go out drinking, God knows how much, and then we go buy the chippy on the way home and just eat a load of fat, because that's exactly what you want to eat. Fat and carbs, chips, amazing. When you've had a load of alcohol. So, and that was normal for me as an early teenager. And then when, of course, I got my eating disorder, it was like, couldn't possibly do anything like that. So, you know, my eating disorder made me very straight and boring. And so it definitely was the case of, if I did go out and have a drink, hell no would I be fucking eating afterwards. That was absolutely not. And if I did, it would be, I don't know, one of my favourite cardboard tasting granola bars and Muller Light yogurts. Not the chippy that I really should have had after going out at night and drinking a load of alcohol, because arguably, after you've drunk alcohol, you do actually need some good food in your stomach to help your body process it, I think, anyway. I always feel a lot better if I eat when I've got a hangover. Not that I do things like that and get hangovers, but you know what I mean. So you just got to sort of work out, well, what does freedom look like for me? I want to be able to, just like everybody else, go out and be having fun with my friends, eating and drinking, and not kind of having a little bit of a whirl going on in my head and those calculations that happen at the back of your head. If I have another drink, does that mean that I can't go to the chippy on the way home? That kind of thing. That's actually what freedom looks like, where you can really just not worry about those things, especially at your age. You should be going out and having fun. And so that's kind of where you need to work out, like, the overthinking that's going on at the back of your head, that kind of just that feeling of, well, I've got to like control somewhat the calories that are coming into my body. Like, let's take the alcohol out of it. Let's pretend that alcohol isn't in the drinks and it's just these caloric drinks. We're pretending we're talking about milkshakes, and you're basically saying to me, can I have as many milkshakes as anybody else and still eat food at the same time? So my answer is going to be yes. Of course you can. Of course, that's what unrestricted eating would be. And so it's just working out, what is actually the problem here? Is it really that I'm looking out for my health and everybody knows it's not healthy to drink too much? Or is it more to do with the fact that there's still this calorie calculation going on in my head, and I'm worried that if I drink alcohol on a night out, then I'm above the meal plan? That sounds like it's more to the point to me. That's kind of what you need to take the alcohol out of the equation a bit and be a bit like, is this about calories or not? And I would suspect it's about calories. Disclaimer. I should not be saying to somebody who is underage to go out and drink. That's my disclaimer. Anyway.